everyone, Natasha Rosewood here again. For those of you who don't know me, I am a quantum healer, inspirer of intuitive intelligence, and an author of 3 published books so far, and lots more to come. So welcome again. I am doing these on a daily basis now, as I have the time, and I'm sure you do too, to make an offering of positive thinking. So my topic today is, are we victims of this coronavirus, or are we creators? We may be feeling powerless. A lot of us are. We're going to have a whole gamut of emotions during our house arrest. We might be getting the isolation blues and going through all these emotions of frustration, fear, helplessness, maybe excitement. Maybe we're enjoying being isolated, getting a break from our normal daily routines, being able to hang out with our children, our families. This might be a wonderful thing. But for those of you who aren't, and this could go on for a very long time, so I'm sure we're going to have our days and our moments and our hours when we're not feeling too great about this, I thought I'd give you some information to remind you just how powerful you are and how much power we have over this thing that's happening to us. So how can we rise above? It really is a time of ascension. I'm sure most of you know that term, but for those of you who don't, ascension, the way I interpret it anyway, is us rising up in our vibration, in our electromagnetic energy, which has been happening with or without us. It's like an energy surge pushing us up and urging us to wake up to a much higher frequency. Now, I talk about frequencies, and it's like, I'm going to say this, when you go to the paint store and you get those little samples, and at the bottom end of it, it's very dark, and then as you go up the paint sample strip, it gets lighter and lighter until it's beautiful, bright. Well, that's like us. We've come out of the dark ages, and we're just about to make a quantum leap through this into the light. And it's really your choice how you allow this, accept it, go with it, or fear it, resist it, start hoarding groceries. You know, all those things you're going to have power over. So it's really time for us to let go of the physical. So we have created on our collective unconscious, whether we know this or not, this state of affairs through our collective thinking. And we've all been saying for a long time, this world isn't going in the right direction. You know, there are mass shootings, there's lots of things happening that we don't want to be happening. So it's like we're putting on the brakes and saying, whoa, let's stop, let's regroup and think about this and then move forward. So we're actually needing to surrender to the physical realm, to our bodies, to the things we touch and see, and get much more into the high frequency of love, dare I say, the invisible, intuition, knowing how much we can create with our thinking and our hearts. And I'm going to be talking about that today. So we have no control over this, obviously, but that doesn't mean to say we're powerless. What we're being asked to do is to completely surrender to this wave that's coming through, and to allow it and see what it's going to show us, both collectively and individually. So this is a massive opportunity, like I've been saying for the last few days. So for those of you who know me, I've been teaching manifestation for many years now. I've done workshops, and I've been a great manifestor, not a perfect manifestor, but if you understand manifestation, it's things that we have thought about, focused on, given our desire to, visualized, imagined, conceived, and then all that energy has reached critical mass, and then it's manifested in the form of a relationship, money, a job, a house, whatever it's been for you. And so if you think about that, on some level, whether we know this or not, we have manifested this situation right now. So my thing is, if we can create it, we can uncreate it. We are not victims of our own creations. We can take a look at this and say, okay, what is this dis-ease? So the opposite of dis-ease is ease. So we need to be sending our thoughts, our heart energy, our vibrations, our manifestations in the other direction. So I think you'll agree that's not rocket science. But for those of you who want to know more about this, tomorrow I'm going to put on Facebook some names of people that you can follow on YouTube that might explain it differently or better than I do. Everybody has a way of communicating this theory, and it works for some people and for some people it doesn't. So this time is an opportunity, like I've been saying, to choose to allow this to work its way through us, to urge us to think about the light, to not be in our physical world so much at this time, so we have the opportunity to meditate, to pray, to think, to feel, and just really get in touch with the self and actually celebrate. I want to say celebrate. So the coronavirus will affect some of us and not others. So will our light and our dark frequencies that we choose also tend to create this division between us. So it's going to be very interesting. Some of your friends may not be on board with you. You may have to say bye-bye, see you later. And you might be surprised who does join you in the light. So just really keep open. It's not a judgment. It's just a choice about, as individuals, where we're all at in our soul evolution at this time. I want to talk about the heart energy. So I've been teaching manifestation for a long time, and I say it's thinking, which are magnetic impulses. So what we think are like little magnets that we're sending out into the universe. And if we believe that we deserve that thing, or we don't deserve that thing, it will either come back to us or not. But combined with those magnetic impulses, which are thoughts, we also have our desire in our heart. How badly do we want that? And interestingly enough, the heart energy, now, as I understand it now, because our electromagnetic energy is amping up, our heart energy is now 60 times more powerful electromagnetically than our brain. So it's almost like the heart is in your brain. So it's about your feelings. Your feelings are going to fuel whatever you think about, if you want it or you don't want it. And Dr. Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this, is that the heart energy and the brain energy really need to be congruent. And I've said this for a long time as well, for anything to manifest. It's got to be on the same page. It's like a river going down one path, all of the water going in the same direction and ending up something big, which we call the ocean. And it's like, if we want to manifest this thing, this healing to this current situation, we all have to be within ourselves congruent with what we want to manifest here, whether it be healing, whether it be celebration, whether it be a new awakening to a new humanity, whatever it is we want, we need to feel it in our heart first, and then think about what it looks like, and then keep the faith and the trust. Those are two huge elements of manifestation that we want to do here. So today I thought I'm just going to tell you this quick joke, which is really funny, because I'm going to take you, if you're on board with this, to a new dimension. So I think we've got a few visitors here. We've got a question, what about Muslims? This applies to everyone who is on the planet right now. There is no judgment about or separation between any race, any culture, any religion. I'm not asking you to believe anything I say. This is just an offering of something I'm putting out. So if you would like to go into a new dimension and have a new reality, I'm going to offer a meditation, and you can use this. I'm going to record this for you. So if you would like it, for me to send it to you, maybe I could ask for a little donation, maybe $2 or something. We're all worried about our bank accounts, but just as a donation if you feel that it helps you get through your day. And we need to practice this communication between our hearts and our brains so that we are empowering our visualizations and our manifestations. So for anybody who wants to join in, I'm just going to ask you now to sit and close your eyes and just imagine that you're sitting in a beautiful place, and just take in a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth, and just allow that beautiful breath to come in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just completely relax you. Just releasing any aches or pains that you're feeling in your body, any stress in your shoulders, in your head, anywhere you hold stress in your body. Just breathe into that now and just release it. And just sit back or lie back wherever you are and be comfortable. And just relax now into a steady rhythm of breathing, being grateful for the oxygen that's coming into your body now and rejuvenating and healing and supporting you at this time, bringing you health and vitality, bringing strength to your muscles, bringing radiant health and energy, just feeling it coming all the way through you. And now I'd like you to imagine yourself going into this beautiful walled garden. And this garden can be as small or large as you desire. And this is your garden in the ether. This is where you can go to relax. And you might notice the beautiful flowers or fountain. You might look around you and smell those beautiful flowers or hear birds singing. There might be animals in this garden for you who love you. And in the center of the garden, I want you to imagine that there's a beautiful chairs. And you can go and sit in this chair and invite others to come and join you in the ether. You are perfectly safe to have social interaction in the ether, as you are not in your physical bodies, but in your spirit. And then notice how on the back wall of this garden there is another gate, and this gate opens. And you notice how other spirit guides are walking through that gate into your garden and coming to be with you at this time, and sitting around, perhaps in a circle, on these chairs. Just being together, knowing that you're perfectly safe at this time. You're in this gorgeous dimension where you've left your physicality behind and you are now in spirit. And now you have access to your intuition, who are your spirit guides, to higher intelligence, to the high frequency of love. And as you sit there, I just want you to remember a very happy time in your life, a memory of being with somebody or somewhere, feeling loved and safe and warm. Just go into that feeling right now. Just breathe it in. Go into that memory and bring it right down into your heart and anchoring it into your heart. As you remember being in that beautiful place of feeling loved and loving, just think of a color that this memory reminds you of. Is it like bright yellow sunshine, or like pale blue sky, or soft pink? Maybe it's a rainbow of colors that makes you feel so happy and joyous, remembering the joy. Now, as you begin to keep breathing in, you're going to expand that color, that beautiful vibration of high frequency color. And first, it's going to fill your heart to bursting, feeling that beautiful feeling of absolute joy. And now that feeling radiates throughout your body. And as those vibrations of color travel throughout your body, radiating downwards and upwards into your chest and into your throat and into your brain and out over the sides of your body, you feel like a light bulb that's been turned up from 50 watts to 5,000 watts. You are just radiating this beautiful light. And if you so choose, you can continue to radiate that light out to the world, out to all your loved ones and friends who maybe you can't be with at this time, whether they live in this country or in other faraway places, sending the light out to all the frontline health workers, people who are maybe risking their lives to help others, blessing them with this beautiful radiant joy, protecting them with your light, and then sending this light to all the people who are sick at this time. And if they're willing to allow it, maybe they will accept this light and allow it to heal them. And see your light radiating out all around the planet and joining with other people's light until all around the planet there's this beautiful healing vibration. And miracles are happening of healing as people inhale this gorgeous light into their bodies, into their spirits, into their souls, and allow themselves to be empowered, lifted up, and healed at this time. And when you're ready, you can bring this light back, slowly back, bringing it back from those faraway places, from those people, bringing it back to your own physical body and going back into your heart, but knowing that that ball of light is always in your heart. And this represents the love you have for yourself and for all humanity. And know that the power that you have is to emit this light and with intention send it out to heal this virus, to heal all the people around the world, and to heal not just the physical disease, but also our disease of consciousness, where we have separated from each other, where we have judged or not forgiven or not had compassion or not shared. Now those things are being healed and we are all rising up into this beautiful, new, joyous vibration. Amen, so be it, and so it is. So thank you for joining me today. I am going to keep that meditation. Let me know if that helps you. John Kalin, he asked me, how do I feel about Muslims? Well, I love everybody. And John, I can tell you that I spent 3 months in Libya, which was a very strict Muslim country, back in 1982. And funny enough, Friday I'm going to be talking about a little story about that. I think whether you read the Quran or the Bible or the Kabbalah or the Talmud, whatever your religion, whatever your beliefs, it's all about love in the end. It's always only about love. And I think this is what this virus has come to show us, how we're not loving each other, how we're not loving one another, but then we're going to learn from this. And he also asked, which I love this question, thank you for asking it, John, why do people claim to be victims? Well, I can tell you that we all have power. And we used to believe that we were victims. There was always something governing us, whether it was a government, a religion, a parent. There was always something above us telling us what to do and what we couldn't do. Now we know better. Now that we know we can empower ourselves. So some people that have chosen to stay in victim mode because they don't want to take on responsibility for themselves or for other people. So being a victim is kind of like saying, I'm not quite ready for that responsibility. I think I'll pretend that I can't do that and I'll just be a victim over here. So whatever you choose to be, whether you choose to be a leader or a victim, choose to be a creator or a hoarder, that's where you're at in your revolution. And now is the opportunity to take a leap forward and become more loving of self and loving of others. Okay, I hope that helps a couple of people. I'm going to be back on Friday. I might take a rest tomorrow. And if anybody has any comments or questions with these Facebook Lives, I'm going to start interviewing other people and getting feedback, depending on how long we're in quarantine. So I love you all. Thank you for joining me. And I'm just going to leave you with one word today, joy. Amen. So be it, and so it is.